So the big political story is, of course, what is happening in Uttar Pradesh just before the election, just when it seemed that both parties, whether it is the Shivpal-Yadav camp or Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav's camp, they had a truce, but that truce is now completely shattered with both sides releasing lists. First, Mulayam Singh Yadav released a list of 325 candidates in which some of the key aides of Akhilesh Yadav were left out. Also, some candidates that the Chief Minister had fiercely opposed. And after that, another unsigned list surfaced in the evening, which sources said was from the Chief Minister's office and contained the names of 235 of his supporters. His uncle Shivpal Yadav released an official list of 68 candidates. So two lists suggesting the Mulayam Shivpal camp and the Akhilesh camp could go their separate ways.
बहुत सारी ऐसी शक्तियां हैं दल के बाहर और एक आध आदमी दल के अंदर जो ये नहीं चाहता कि अखिलेश दोबारा मुख्यमंत्री बने। सारी जनता चाहती है, कोई मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ नहीं है। दूसरी पार्टी के लोगों को भी मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ बोलने के लिए कुछ नहीं है।
See, it's months since we have these news that today Akhilesh Yadav is upset, tomorrow Mulayam Singh Yadav ji is upset, day after tomorrow Shivpal Yadav is upset, and then Mr. Ramgopal Yadav ji is upset. So these family members themselves are upset. Are they thinking about how upset development in Uttar Pradesh is? The people of this country will finally name Samajwadi Party as a Parivarwadi Party because they have nothing to do with Samaj. They have only to think about their Parivar, that is their family.
So all other parties watching what's happening in the Samajwadi Party camp really closely. Alok Pandey has been tracking those developments. Alok, what is the latest?
Well, two things. Number one, that Shivpal Yadav and Mulayam Singh Yadav have met for about 2 hours this morning and now called the meeting of all 393, I think, odd party candidates whose lists have been announced by them. So this is their step to kind of consolidate and at least try and ensure that there can be some kind of show of strength tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. at the party office, which is where this meeting will be held. Now, why is this interesting, Sunetra? It's also interesting because remember that Akhilesh has also given out a list of 235 candidates now. At least 170 to 180 candidates in both lists are common. So where are these gentlemen going to go to? Are they going to go to that meeting and then in a way say that they believe that Mulayam and Shivpal are their bosses, or are they going to stay away and kind of gravitate towards Akhilesh Yadav? We have no word on that. Akhilesh Yadav was at a government function here. He spent about 15 minutes there. He was smiling, but refused to take any questions, refused to even make a speech. It was a health department function. Very rare for the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh to not speak at such a function. He did not do so. But yes, we managed to at least get a glimpse of him. He was smiling. His sources close to him tell us that now they believe that there is no going back on this and they are going to stick to this 235 candidate list and they are going to ensure that these people fight, whether it is through an independent route or whether it is through some other route, maybe forming a new party. That's the hint that they are giving, but then in politics you never know. So this could again be just a pressure tactic on Mulayam and Shivpal. At the moment, as things stand, Mulayam and Shivpal calling a meeting of all their nominated candidates tomorrow, while the Akhilesh camp maintaining silence but saying that they are also not going to push back on this at all.
Alok, very briefly, you've been reporting, you've talked about these ones who are common to both lists. Also some of the very interesting seats which haven't been announced yet. What will happen to that? For instance, that of Aparna Yadav.
Well, yes, in fact, remember that Mulayam Singh Yadav had announced Aparna Yadav's candidature from the Lucknow cantonment seat about a year ago. Who is Aparna Yadav? Aparna Yadav is the wife of Pratik Yadav, who is Mulayam Singh Yadav's son from his second wife, Sadhna. Now, it is no secret that in the last 4 or 5 months, sources close to Akhilesh or people close to Akhilesh have tried to hint that it is Sadhna Gupta who has been responsible for trying to wedge some kind of a divide between Mulayam and his son Akhilesh. This is something that one of the MLCs, Member Legislative Councils, had even written a letter to Mulayam Singh Yadav suggesting this. Allegedly, of course, he denies it on record. But since then, there has been a frosty vibe on one hand between Akhilesh's camp, on the other hand between the camp of Aparna Yadav, who also aspires to be a politician in her own right and has been campaigning for that seat. In Akhilesh's 235 235 candidate list. There is no mention of the Lucknow cantonment seat. It remains to be seen who he is going to give the ticket to. But at the moment, Aparna Yadav, it seems very much part of the other camp, which is the Mulayam Singh Yadav and Shivpal.